Hello and welcome to another wxPython tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to be building off of the last wxPython tutorial, and this is what we had last time. We'll just run it real quick, and we got this little window to pop up for us, and we just kind of changed the title of the window, but we didn't really specify anything else for this window. So I'm going to show you that there's a bunch of different specifications, so to speak, that you can give your windows. So some of the things that we can do, you can apply basically some stylistic things to these windows. So to do that, we'll just add to it. You just add another comma, then you just say style equals, and here you just specify everything. If you don't specify everything with this frame, now keep in mind this is a frame. Now within the frame you're going to have different things, but as far as the frame or the window is concerned, basically this part, the thing that goes around the window like a frame does to a picture, if you just leave this empty, it'll be empty. Otherwise, you can start specifying things that you want. Like we want a maximize box, and that's going to be to maximize the window. We want wx system menu. And let's just come down here. We also want wx. We want a resize button. Actually, let's not do a resize button. We'll just do this, and then we'll say wx close box. Oops. And then we also want wx caption. Okay, so we're gonna say we want all these things. So obviously we said we didn't want a resizable border to this window. So we'll save this. We'll run it. Hopefully I didn't do any. Okay, yeah. So here we go. And sure enough, like there's no way for me to resize this window. Okay. So now the other things that we can do, we also didn't have a minimize, so there's no way for me to like minimize this window. I could like move it somewhere, but I can't. Windows shake. I hate Windows shake. Anyway, I could move it somewhere, but I can't at least push the minimize button. Same thing if you go down to your properties. Like let me scroll this down here to these properties. And so here you can see this is the Python window here. And if we come over to here and we right click, I can't even minimize it even from that point. And so now let me show you something a little demonic. So I know what you guys are thinking, the bad ones amongst you. What if we get rid of this? You get rid of the close box. That sounds pretty nasty. So we'll save that, run it, and here comes our window. And oh my goodness, we can't close it. We can make it as big as we want. We can make it small. We also can't resize it, but we can't close it. Now, what if we come back down here to that window, and we bring this up and we right-click it? We still have no close option. But what you can do is just click your close. Depending on, I think with probably Vista and probably XP and Windows 7, you can just hit that X. For anyone else, I'm really sorry for what I just did to you. Now, continuing right along, you'll have to access your Control-Alt-Delete if you can't get rid of it. But anyway, just kind of comical. So yeah, that's how you do kind of the buttons on the window. Naturally, I really wouldn't change any of those. The only thing you might want to do away with is the resizable function. But you'll see in a minute that you can spawn that window to be any size. So with that, eventually you're going to want to put something within this frame. So what you really need to do is to define a basically a class for the frame. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do, and we're going to set this up, and then this will kind of be the template that you'll use for making windows in the future. So what we're going to start with now is we're going to define a class, and we're just going to say class, and this will be window class, and then here you just put wx frame for the parameter, and then here what you do is you define in it, and that's underscore underscore init underscore underscore, and basically what this does is make sure that this it's short for initializes, so you don't actually have to call it. So as soon as like the program begins, it's gonna do this. So with that, let me just put in these parameters here: self, parent, and then title, whatever you want that title to be. And I'll show you. It's just like any other function, really. You give these definitions. So next, we'll say it's super, and we're just going to call window class here self, and then dot init, and then we're just going to say it's parent, and the title is going to equal title, which I'll show you. Well, at least you'll follow in a second. And then you can also follow with a size parameter. So like if you wanted to take away the ability to resize, you could, and then you can specify or you can just specify a specific size, like size equals 800, 600, okay, for example. And so like this will make it 800 wide by 600 tall. And then you're obviously going to want to do self.show, so the window actually shows. And then down here we'll just do the iconic, we'll just do app equals wx.app, because you need that. Then we'll do window class, and we'll say none. We want it to be the main window here, so it has no parent. And then we'll call the title epic window. And then finally we'll call that little main loop there, main loop. We'll save it, we'll run it, and sure enough, here's our epic window. It's too big to even fit in my little recording, but this is the epic window. Let's make it a little smaller. We'll make it 200 by 300, so 200 wide, 300 tall. Here it is, epic window, and then we can resize it so we can actually read the title. So that's our new epic window. Those are how you can kind of change the sizes, because that's probably, the size changing is probably like the #1 thing besides the title of the window that you'll want to be able to change easily. So the next thing you'll see is, like on this screen, for example, when I hit run to run this, I'm having to drag the window over. It's coming from a different part on my screen. So what if, this is where we want the window to pop up, right? You can do a move command. So what we'll do with this is we'll say self move, and let's move it 800 and down 250. So it's going to move it over 800 and down 250. It's just like HTML, where it starts at the top left basically, and it's going to move that around. So we're going to say we want to move it 800 over to the right and 250 pixels down from where it's been spawning. And let's see if it spawns on top of where we are now. Almost. It's just barely above. So now we could drop it down, I don't know, we'll try like 350. We'll run that. And there it is. So now it's actually showing up, at least within this window area. We can move it even over a little bit further. So we could say we want it 1,000 pixels. And now it's popping up here. So anyway, as you can see, you can use that to dictate exactly where a window might pop up on screen. Now finally, there's also a command for, you can just say, like, if you want that window to appear at the center of the screen, you can use self.center, only it's century, like center. I don't even know if that's like British spelling or what. However, I can't really show you this. It won't center on my screens. I think it's probably because I've got a bunch of monitors, so it just doesn't want to, I don't think it knows where to go. So I don't really know, but it doesn't work for me, so I can't really show it to you, but you can try that out. So instead of like moving the window, you can say center it. And maybe once we've initialized, like we put a window within a window and start utilizing windowception, we'll be able to center a window within that window, I believe. So anyway, we'll get to that point. But just for now, I'm just going to tell you that there's also this command. I just can't use it myself. So anyways, that's going to conclude this tutorial. The next one we'll be talking about doing like menu bars and stuff, because right now our window is pretty boring. We've got a title and we learned how to resize it and stuff, but you can't really do anything. Like, we can't do literally anything. So it'd be nice to have like a menu bar that we can maybe choose some stuff. And yeah, so in the next tutorial I'm going to show you guys how to do a menu bar.